Hello everyone, Hano here, this time bringing you Jungle Shyvana. Shyvana's a really good character. She has a lot of damage output without building damage items. She's very tanky due to her passive on her ultimate, and she has an extremely fast clear time. She's one of the only junglers that has such a great clear time that I think I've been counter jungled because it takes a while for the camps to come back up after I've killed them. She also has an amazing dueling set, which makes her a very good counter jungler. She can go in and bully people around, and there's not too much people can do about it in the early game. Shyvana has her disadvantages in the fact that she has no CC at all. She has a minor knockback in her ultimate that can be used to cancel channels, but it's not very reliable and has to be done at close range. Her also only gap closer, aside from a movement speed boost, is going to be her ultimate as well. So her main forms of CC really come from using her ultimate, which is never a reliable source of crowd control for any character. But her speed and counter-jungling prowess and her ability to really just control the map and control the pace of games, go in and set other people on their team behind, makes her an excellent pick. For a really good example of something like this, you can watch any Diamond's M5 game, especially from IEM Kiev, where he really has just become a terror and goes through and puts several characters behind. When ganking with Shyvana, most of your ganks will look exactly like this. You go in, you get knocked back, or they just walk away. It's pretty frustrating, but you can make up for it in other ways. One good thing to do when you do have red buff, you can make clever routes for ganking. Right here, I avoid Vladimir's ward placement and go around and try and pick up a kill on him. On someone other than Vladimir, this would have likely been a kill, but Trollpool gets him alive. Once you hit your level 6, you're able to dive very well because you're extremely beefy, and you can come in and deal a lot of damage. Again, Vlad is going to escape here barely, but that's only because he has the pool and he's able to get away from it. I mentioned you wanted to be counter-jungling a lot on Shyvana, and these are some examples of bad counter-jungling. Here I'm coming in trying to take their blue, and I notice that bottom lane is now here. Instead of pulling back and being safe, I decide to just sit around in the bush to see who else is coming, and then I have to use my ultimate to barely escape this. Again here, I'm going for their blue, and I see that bottom lane is now leaving and coming towards me. I decide that I have enough damage to do this blue, however it wasn't a very good judgment on my part. Their mid comes, and their jungler comes, and everybody's here, and again I have to use my ultimate to flash through the wall. Now I'm going to move on to good counter-jungling techniques. I added this in here just to show you that I finally did get their blue, but typically you want to be going around and bruising people out of their jungle. Here I'm going to look to take his buffs. I notice that he's gone, that he has taken the buff already, and I just drive him out of the jungle. It's lost experience for him, and I go and take his golems and wraiths. Here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm really not in my jungle at all. You can see my camps are up. I could clearly go do them, but I'm going to instead choose to focus on harassing them, pressuring the lane, taking his jungle, and denying him any farm and experience. And this is something you really need to do on Shyvana in order to justify playing her, because her ganking is really lackluster. It is just important that you keep safe counter-jungling practices in mind, and not to make too many risks. When playing as Shyvana or any tank, you really need to know how to properly teamfight with her. I lost the majority of my first games because I didn't know how to. Here you can see we start a fight, and I end up chasing out other people. Instead of sticking around and protecting my team and things that we need to stay alive, I push forward and try and pick up kills for myself. And this leads my entire team to die, including the last person here, and I have to do the walk of shame back to the summer platform. Here we're gearing up for a fight, and Ashe misses the initiate arrow, but they're going to come in anyway. So I'm going to start pushing people away from the fight, but as soon as I notice I'm a little farther away than I want to be, I dive back into the fight, and here's where I make the mistake. I chase after Shaco. This led my team to die, and me as the only person alive again. When you're playing Shyvana, you really want to try and protect your team. Here Corki gets initiated on, and I see that, so I come in to try and defend her. Alistair knocks away Poppy, and we end up picking up the kill on her. Now, we are 3 strong right now, and I'm really tanky, so we decide to go in for the tower dive on Ashe. Her ultimate is blown, she has no other CC to really mention, so we just go in and pick up the kill on her. Shyvana is able to do this fairly well, and this is what most of her ganks are going to be, because she's so tanky. Here we have my team returning to mid, and I pick up a fight with Ahri because I know my team is coming. Their team is coming as well, but I'm really not scared because I'm a tanky monster. So I continue to push on, push them out, and just be a threat for my team, a damage soak. Here we're going to start a team fight, and I jump right onto the nearest target. So I start chunking down Nautilus. I'm not going to run all the way across the fight to do something, but I end up ulting over him to try and get closer to Sona. I go right on to Sona and try and take her down. And here I'm really just trying to push people out of the fight. I get a little sidetracked here with a kill on Nautilus. However, I turn around and return to my team and pick up these stragglers that are leaving. And this is something you really want to be doing on Shyvana. You need to push people out of the fight, threaten everybody who's going after your carries so that they have not enough life to really take your carries down. Here I'm going to show you how to be a man on a woman. You are part dragon, so you have to be badass at some point. We start a Baron fight here with the knowledge that they are coming. So, what I decide to do is move towards the outer edge of the wall when we see them coming, and then be a man! I jump over, easily taking the damage from their entire team. Our Lux picks up a kill with her ultimate, and also her other abilities, and we move on to pick up the rest of this game. So you can see from this video that when you're playing Shyvana, she's really tanky and has an extremely high damage output. Shyvana is a really fun character to play and offers a lot of excitement through counter jungling and trying to do well and deny their team, as opposed to just farming and ganking. Hope you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you like my other videos, and I hope to see you around the jungle.
Victory!
Love is a burning thing